And then, as I said before, Gersma points out that there are three different types of compressibility, and we will talk about that, three different types of compressibility. The first one is rock matrix compressibility. This is defined as the fractional change in volume of the solid rock material or grains with a unit change in pressure. Mathematically, we can use this equation. So CR is rock matrix compressibility is minus 1 per volume of solid multiplied by this one. Partial differential equation, the rate of change of volume with respect to pressure at constant temperature. Okay, the subscript T indicates that the derivative is taken at the constant temperature. So, as I said before, if the reservoir pressure change, if the pressure change, then the volume will change as well, and the rate of change of reservoir volume or of the volume with respect to the change of pressure, this is the term. And then we just multiply it by 1 minus 1 per volume of solid. This is rock matrix compressibility. And then this is rock bulk compressibility. This is defined as the fractional change in volume of the bulk volume. Yeah, bulk volume of the rock with a unit change in pressure. So if you change the pressure, the bulk volume will change as well. Yeah, will be changed as well. And the rate of change of the volume of the bulk volume with the change of the pressure at constant temperature, that's this term. And then if we just multiply it by minus 1 per bulk volume, then we will have rock bulk compressibility. And this is the third kind of compressibility, the pore compressibility. The pore compressibility coefficient is a fractional change in pore volume of the rock with a unit change in pressure, and it is described mathematically by this equation. So the shape of the equation is quite similar. Here the pore compressibility minus 1 per pore volume multiplied by this term. This is the rate of change of pore volume with respect to the change of pressure at constant temperature. We start using this equation, and the above equation can be expressed in terms of porosity by noting that that porosity increases with the increase in the pore pressure. So if the pore pressure increase, porosity will increase. Okay. If we assume that porosity increase with the increase of pore pressure, then we can convert this equation to this equation. All right. So if you increase like this one, yeah, you have pore 1 and pore 2, and then you have pore pressure, let's say P1 and P2. Okay. And then we have minus sign here. And then if we, for example, I want to make a box here, P2 minus P1. Okay. And then this is porosity 2 minus porosity 1. Okay. And then this is the delta P, right? This is the delta pore. All right. And then you can change the pore volume to be described with porosity. Okay, porosity. And then this pressure we can maintain. So VP here we can change to porosity, and then this is delta porosity per delta P at constant temperature. Then we can change this negative sign into positive, and we will have like this. Okay, let's think about that. So pore volume, pore compressibility is of course positive in value. And then this one, delta pore per delta P, okay, delta pore per delta P, this term is of course negative because as we increase the pressure, as we increase the pressure, the this one the pore volume will be decreased, yeah. So this term will be negative. So negative multiplied by negative, Cp is positive, and then we in terms of porosity, yeah, in terms of porosity, as we increase the pressure, the porosity will increase as well. So we can change this upper equation to this lower equation. And for most petroleum reservoir, yeah, the rock and bulk compressibility are considered small in comparison with the pore compressibility. Yeah. So the pore compressibility CP is bigger than CB, rock bulk compressibility, or rock matrix compressibility, CR. Okay. The formation compressibility, CF, is all right. The formation compressibility, CF, is the term commonly used to describe the total compressibility of the formation and is set usually equal to Cp. Okay, Cf equals to Cp, and of course Cp is 1 per porosity divided by the rate of change of porosity with respect to pressure. And then we will make it even simpler. Typical values for the formation compressibility is between 3 times 10 to the power of minus 6 to 25 times 10 to the power of minus 6 per psi. So this is the typical range. So, but I usually find this one in many software, right? 3 times 10 to the power of minus 6, okay, can be rewritten like this. So 1 per pore volume multiplied by delta Vp per delta P. And if we change the mathematical expression, delta Vp is Cf multiplied by pore volume multiplied by delta P, where delta Vp and delta P are the change in pore volume and change in pore pressure respectively. So it should be Vp2 minus Vp1 divided by P2 minus P1. Okay, the change in pore volume divided by the change in pressure. And we can also express it in the other approximation, 1 per pore volume multiplied by delta PV per delta P, more or less like 1 per porosity, delta porosity per delta P, like this one. So no longer use this symbol derivative. Now we can use delta, yeah, to make it even simpler. And according to Gersma, yeah, Gersma suggested that the bulk compressibility CB is related to the pore compressibility by the following expression. So CB, okay, we can approximate it with CB is Cp multiplied by porosity. Okay, Gersma has stated that in a reservoir, only the vertical component of hydraulic stress is constant, yeah, vertical component, and that the stress components in the horizontal plane are characterized by the boundary condition that there is no bulk deformation in those directions. For those reservoir boundaries, For those boundary conditions, I mean, he developed the following expression for sandstone. Okay, so pore compressibility of the reservoir is half of Cp in laboratory condition. Pore compressibility in the reservoir is 1/2 of the pore compressibility measured in the laboratory.